Okay. All right, it's 3 o'clock. I'm going to call the meeting to order. Roll call, Martha?
Here.
Sue?
Yeah.
And Smith is present. TJ got anything?
We received our permit by notification for the transfer station, which is a big improvement to have that. We can make changes to hours, what we accept and don't take, we can make changes without filing through the state. It's a lot more of a modern permit.
Is that the first time we had a permit since what year?
1981, I believe.
We haven't had a permit since 1981, and TJ got us one.
We have a
You
new,
mean a permit to operate? We don't.
well, our permit before, well, the reason it went under the radar was because it was for the incinerator,
Right.
so it never got changed.
Changed this.
And I looked into having, of course, we changed the hours, and when that did, it kind of started the ball rolling. We have a new operations plan and closure plan that goes along with this, and pretty much the operation plan is just so if someone new come to the transfer station, they could operate the transfer station by looking at that. It's quite a, I think you guys signed it. It's but that goes away with. We started the process, I believe it was beginning of November, for that permit by notification. We received it on the 5th. So we have it now, it's in there, and it's gonna be stated, put up at the transfer station, laminated, and then he'll have that all put together for our inspection. And there'll be a new sign at the transfer station now because it lists right out what we can accept and not accept. That'll be out front with the new hours.
Good.
The ones we went to where they're not there Thursdays. And, other than that, no.
Ray, you got anything?
No, nothing else. With 737 is mostly done for public hearing. Warrant articles are due that week, the day before that. So that would be February 6th. Petitions are due, and that's why the public hearing is the 7th. We're still getting some invoices in for 2023 for December and before that we need to pay out of the 23 numbers before we end the year and roll over. So don't have final year ends yet, probably be towards the end of the month. I need them as well for the 737, but just so we can see how much of a surplus we had. But I think we'll show that we were in decent shape, being pretty conservative with our expenses. The BTLA case, I did give the monthly update, which I've had to do for countless months. The only thing outstanding with the reval is the final report of values that I think it's USPAP.
UPAP or something, yeah.
They call it the Ossipee, which I guess is it goes, DRA has to get a copy and it gets filed, and that would be the last thing potentially that the court order required, and it could be considered done, done at that point. So pretty hopeful that we'll be finally out of trouble, hopefully with Concord.
So that's all done, it just has to be filed.
It's not done to my knowledge as of when I sent the update last week, but Jeff Earls, our contract reval assessor, thought it would be done any day now. So it could be done today for all I know, and it would get sent in. So hopefully within the next couple of weeks, DRA will sign off that everything is done, and BTLA can close the case out whenever they do that, hopefully. So but it's been time consuming for sure.
You guys have anything? It's pretty quiet. If we have nothing, I'm going to move on to some of these documents for the sake of time downstairs.
Yep.
So I'll just go through a few of mine. These are just some of the normal. So this is a notice of decision from the planning board. It's for tax map 24 lot 1, case number 24-02 SPRA. It was a vet urgent care. They received a conditional site plan review, this is a good thing. This is up on the left across from Westwood Shores. There's going to be a vet urgent care there, and it's actually needed in the area.
Oh yeah, I see. I think it's open.
The sign, they should have the sign out, yeah, so it's good.
Yeah, that's good.
They just got approved. Next case was tax map 14 lot 5, case number 24-01 SPRA. Joseph Goss received a, let's see, a special use permit and a site plan review amendment. He's opening a automotive repair shop. This is behind Kevin's Discount.
See, they're building up there too.
Who was that?
Somebody's building up there.
Oh, yes, that's Eric Clifford. He's building a wood, not a wood, some kind of lumber business or something. Yeah, he's gonna sell lumber. That's the plan anyway. He got site plan approval also. I have a supplemental tax warrant. This is for map 93, lot 10. This is in the amount of $4,416. This is for taxes that were billed in 2023 that were incorrect. Other than that, I make a motion to approve this.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
This is a, Matt, this quick claim deed that we got here, this is for, you wanna explain a little bit, I guess? This was a mistake or something?
I don't know, there was town-owned property sold in the 90s. They're doing a refinance or something on it, and the title attorneys wanted the selectmen to sign a confirmatory deed, which basically just more cleanly restates the original deed. It just cleans up the wording or whatever. I think there was either a subdivision or multiple lots that got added together, something messy. This just doesn't change anything. That's why they call it a confirmatory deed. But our legal team did research it and was okay with it and recommended that you sign it.
Yeah, this is up on 76 Knox Mountain Road, tax map 75 lot 40. And the town attorney reviewed it and approved it like Matt just said. Make a motion to approve this.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
I have, this is a health officer deputy nomination form. This is to make TJ Eldridge or another deputy health officer. I'm the first one, he'd be the second, Matt's the primary health officer. It's good to spread the duties around because if I'm out, Matt's out, and there's a health complaint that comes in, TJ can handle it. We don't get a lot of them.
Well, he's out in the field a lot
Right.
anyway, so as he sees things
Exactly.
or whatever, he is
So,
authority.
we just nominate and DHS actually appoints. So I make a motion to appoint TJ, or nominate TJ Eldridge as a deputy health officer.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
This is a, let's see, a tax warrant for map 231, lot 24, 174 Doors Corner Road. This is a warrant to recover costs that were ordered as per district court order. This was through a zoning case. The amount is $11,459.04. I'll make a motion to approve this tax warrant.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
That's all I have. I don't know what you guys have, if you want to expedite anything, because I'm going to talk a little bit downstairs regarding the House
Well,
bill.
we do these downstairs.
You wanna wait and have something to do downstairs?
It doesn't matter to me. I'm just saying, it's only 3:10, because otherwise we're going to recess and we're going to wait until 4:15, so,
Do my financial.
yeah.
I have Town of Ossipee check voucher totals with pay date of January 9th, 2024. Total payroll, $44,627.11. Accounts payable general fund, $577,425.53. Water department, $565.99. Sewer department, $2,004.57. Total fund payments, $624,623.20. The motion to approve these,
Second.
all in favor?
Aye.
I had two sets of minutes that have been sitting in the red folder for a while. The first set is for December 11th. Make a motion to approve these.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
The second one is Monday, November 27th. Make a motion to approve these.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. That's it for me.
So if you wanna save your stuff from downstairs, that's fine. You only have a few things, right?
Yeah, I got
Yeah.
it. I can do it here.
Whatever you want, whatever you're comfortable with.
I got a request for a clerical abatement in the amount of $233 for map 29, lot 1, sub 391. I make a motion, we approve this clerical abatement.
I'll second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
I have a request for a clerical abatement for map 29, lot 1, sub 322, in the amount of $117. I make a motion, we approve this clerical abatement.
I'll second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. I have an application for a property tax credit. It's a veteran's credit, I should say, a veteran's credit map. We've seen any map on it. But it's been signed properly. I make a motion, we approve this veteran's credit.
Probably on the
It's
second
just
page.
14 Elm Street extension, that's all.
Okay, 14 Elm Street extension. Make a motion, we approve this veterans credit.
I'll second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. I got another application for a tax credit for 137 Granite Road. It's a veterans credit. I make a motion, we approve this veterans tax credit.
I'll second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. I have an application for a veterans credit for 140 Levitt Road. I make a motion, we approve this veterans credit.
I'll second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. That's all I have.
Okay. TJ, you have anything more, Matt?
I'll be downstairs, I'm gonna talk about fire hydrants and
Okay.
the parking ban, but I'll do it down there in case there's some people.
Now, we have bids, hopefully have some bids to open, we'll do downstairs.
Yeah, exactly. I have nothing else in the red folder, any other business. You guys have any questions or anything, or? No? All right, well, I'm gonna make a motion to recess until 4:15.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
312.
That's why I did some of that stuff.
So it's just that, so.
4:15.
That's what Chris did.
Yeah.
Yeah, they went down there and did something.
He might never do it again, so I'm just gonna have him replace it. I couldn't call you back, so I had Neil come look at it, that's all right, sorry.
I'm only here for the village. Could be that.
Did you finally get that document? No. Okay, I'll keep it.
Okay.
Hopefully it'll get here. It could be in your junk.
I'm sorry.
It could be.
Did you grab the bids?
Did you redid it with the right email address?
You ready yet?
I'm always ready.
Okay, it's 4:15, I'm gonna reconvene the meeting. Please stand for the pledge of allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Okay, first order of business is we have bids for 88 Main Street. This was a court-ordered action through the zoning office and the Board of Selectmen for a barn to be removed that's structurally deficient. So, we have two bids. Okay, I'm gonna read it. To the Board of Selectmen, based on the RFP and my conversation with the town administrator regarding 88 Main Street, demo and with respect to the inability to completely access the building, and in conversation with other contractors that will be needed to complete the project in a timely manner, I am submitting a project cost of $75,000, respectfully submitted by Dallas Emery Jr., 60 Moultonville Road. So Dallas Emery is for $75,000.
Now we know where you'll be, Dallas.
Maybe not.
The next bid is from Pine River Sand and Gravel. I'm going to just read the description on their bid. Demolition of barn on Hucken Street. All demolition and contents of barn to be disposed of at licensed facilities. Per the scope of work discussed at walkthrough of site, barn will be taken down until seam of larger original barn. Foundation will be filled and compacted with approximately 474 cubic yards of sandy fill, non-structural material. This price does not include capping off sewer or water mains or enclosing the existing structure. Project to be started immediately and completed as weather conditions permit. Total cost $25,500. Just for the record, the court has given the owner until approximately January 14th, I believe, to comply with the court order. If he doesn't comply, the town is going to step in with one of these RFPs to complete the demolition of this barn. Does the board want to
Because he doesn't even want to take it down.
make a decision on one of these now? One of these bids based on what we received, only two?
Don't really like this 23.5, because there's a lot of stuff he's not gonna do. I mean, I assume Dallas is doing the whole works.
Well, what is the difference? I mean,
Yeah, well,
I'm planning on closing off the side of the barn to the weather and making sure, because there was a statement in the RFP about making sure the other building is structural. So, I have not been able to get inside the building
I know,
at all,
that's
so I have no
difficult.
idea
You don't
what's
know what it is.
inside. But, I mean, that is quite a big difference, so I understand.
We're meeting when again? Yeah, we're meeting, well, we have the 16th, then after that, we're meeting the following week, which will be 22nd.
Is,
Go ahead, Frank.
are they gonna close this one with the 75?
So, just for the record, it's not required to be closed in, the outside edge of that barn, upon the court order.
But I
so-
couldn't do that.
Right, I understand, it's not a requirement to close that in. It's up to the owner at that point to close that in, so.
And I understand that, but I could not leave that wide open.
Right, so does the board understand that that's not a requirement of the court? The court order is to destroy and take down the building and fill the hole. So Dallas is bidding above and beyond the court order requirement. So if we couldn't award a bid to we couldn't award the contract to a higher bidder doing work outside of the scope of the requirement.
But again, it just makes me nervous that somebody's going, that's $50,000, but he's gonna be doing a lot less than what Dallas's bid is.
Right,
That's-
but the bid, the lower bid is to take down the building and fill the hole. That's what the court order requirement. Dallas is, I don't want to speak for you, but.
No, and I understand.
Yeah.
I understand.
Yeah.
If you want to take some time to think about it, that's fine,
Yeah.
and let me know. But
Yeah.
I'm
We
going
don't have to
by.
decide today, 'cause-
What, but I gotta wait and
Okay.
see what the bid's all about.
so then we can wait to award it. We're gonna meet again before this deadline,
Yeah.
if you want to digest it, but, because Dallas did bid above and beyond the requirement.
This is speaking, if the guy that owns the building doesn't do it,
Correct, this is only.
then
if
the town's gonna step in and do it.
Exactly, that is
And
correct.
now, do we recoup the money
Yes,
from him?
correct.
Okay.
Yep, whatever we lay out, we recover as
Yeah.
ordered by the court.
Okay.
So these are gonna be,
Chris Elliott has a question.
sure, go ahead, Chris.
So again, I'm not sure how this works, but does he have an opportunity to submit another bid, which is just what the court order suggests?
The only way the board could do that is if we reopen the bid process. That'd be the only way, because the bid process is closed. now.
You already know it, I understand. But
So if that's what the board wants to do, you have the option of making a motion to reopen the bid process again, because we do have a little bit of time. But you're extending this process.
Well, it seems to me, you've been a comparison of apples to apples and oranges here, as to what his bid might be versus somebody else. It's your call.
I think
Right.
to clarify, that was, because I get it, he doesn't want to leave it open, that was his choice to
Right.
bid that way.
Correct.
The other people that bid have done the same thing for us in the past twice, right?
So part of the issue, Chris, is now Dallas knows what they bid,
Sure, of course, I understand.
and he has an upper hand to undercut the bid, so it wouldn't be a fair process. So I really wouldn't even agree with doing that.
I don't mind losing the bid.
Yeah.
I have no problem with that, but I would not feel comfortable leaving that man's building wide open. I don't think that's the right thing to do.
But
I mean, even if I understand the court order
Right.
and what the judge requests, but there's right and wrong.
So here's the thing, Dallas, and this is separate from this bid. If you have that concern, you can consult with the owner and be there to close it up, and you can bill him directly, but we have to focus with what the court has
Yeah, but you
ordered.
can use a lot of the stuff that's left there to actually do that. So if you pull the metal roofing off the building, you can use that metal roofing to close up the outside of that building.
But we're not,
I'm just saying,
I get it, but we have to stick with what the
there's
court orders.
nuances to it.
So, just this little bit of discussion further pushes me that we should make a decision on this and award the bid to Pine River Sand and Gravel. I didn't make the motion, I'm just talking for a topic of discussion. Because we can't, the court is ordered to destroy and fill the hole. If we award a higher bid because he wants to do extra work above and beyond, the court may not award the cost to be recovered to the town. And then the town may be on the hook for those additional costs, because that was not part of the court order. So we need to stick with what the court has ordered in this case, which is to destroy the building and fill the hole.
And that's what
Pine River Sand and Gravel has. Correct. Go ahead,
So
Dean.
what would be hard with an RFP when you put it out to board that in, is to Dallas's point, he could board that in with the stuff that's there. Someone might bid on that, boarding it up with all dimensional lumber, it'd be a lot more. You'd have to have like an engineered plan or something to go by, like, we want this boarded up with new lumber, sided. To do an RFP, you have to have apples to apples bid. And this was just a bid on tearing it down, filling it, because that's how you have to do an RFP, or you don't have fair numbers.
Right.
Yeah, but the bid was also on making sure the end of that building was structurally sound.
Now it was.
Yes, it was. It was in the RFP to make sure that the other building was not
That it
going
wasn't
to...
gonna collapse, to
And
show
it
the collapse.
wasn't gonna collapse.
Right, so how are you supposed to do
Make
that?
it
How are you supposed to do
structurally
that? That's structurally sound, isn't it? Right.
No, hold on a second.
It's the same thing, different terminology, same thing.
Replacing the end wall and making sure the building is structurally sound is two different things.
So how do you make sure it's structurally sound?
That's gonna be up to the contractor. And that's what, Pine River Sand and Gravel has the same obligation as you to make sure it's structurally sound. It's gonna be on them to ensure it remains, that they don't damage the existing building. So,
I'm good.
You can do it, I'll second the vote.
and again, it's gonna be up to them to follow through and do it. If they don't do it, then they're liable for it, not the town. Because they are a contractor. So I'll make a motion to award the bid to Pine River Sand and Gravel in the amount of $25,500 for the demolition of 88 Main Street, the barn, the small barn, as per the court order.
I'll second that.
A second, all those in favor? Aye. Okay. All right, I'm going to open it up to the first public input.
Hi.
Hi.
Hello. I'm Jenny Spofford. I'm the library director at the Ossipee Public Library. And I just wanted to update everyone on some events we have coming up. Our AARP tax prep appointments will become available January 16th, which is next Tuesday. And we also have a mountain lion program happening this Thursday at 4 p.m. And we have a scheduled play group meeting every Tuesday at 11:30. And if you have any questions, feel free to call or stop it. That's it.
Okay, great.
Thank you.
So we start on January 16th.
Yes.
Any other public input? No? Okay, I'm going to close the public input. I'm going to move on to discussion on House Bill 1468. And then I'm sure I'll get Chris in and get some comments on this. So House Bill 1468 FNA is sponsored by myself. I am the state representative for Carroll County District 5, which is Ossipee, in addition to the chair of the select board. So I had I'll tell a little story how I came about with this bill. So we have an LSR filing period, which is a legislative service request, which is a small window of time to draft legislation, file it at the State House, and then from there it becomes a bill. So I've been communicating with the state for the last couple of years. Chris, I know, is involved regarding the rail bed back here. And the night before the deadline for the filing of LSRs, I had a dream, we call it that I put this bill in and it forced the DOT to do something with the rail bed. Really that simple, without getting into more of the crazy dream details. So I woke up in the morning and I made some calls, and I came up with the idea to have DOT create a master plan for the rail bed from the Route 28 overpass all the way up to Conway, because they don't have one. They have no vision, they have no plan. This is an asset sitting here, whether it's restored to freight, whether it becomes a rail trail, whether it's expanded for recreational opportunities. The DOT has really not done much. They kind of been sitting on their hands. So this bill is prime sponsored by me. It's co-sponsored by Rep. Mark McConkey, Representative Glenn Cordelli, who does represent Ossipee and Carroll District 7, and Representative Avalani, who's down in Wakefield. It's going to be going to the Public Works and Highways Committee probably sometime in mid-February. It's really simple. It's to create a master plan, which is a vision for this rail bed, so they come up with a process or a vision for how to move forward so everyone can enjoy this. It's really an asset sitting here. So what I want from the board is support that this bill can go on the town webpage with some details so we can garner support from residents, get letters in, because a bill like this will never pass without support. They're going to need to be inundated. Public Works is going to be inundated with letters of support, emails, saying this is something that needs to be done. It's vital to the community. It's going to bring economic development. Whether it's a rail bed, whether it's freight, something needs to occur. So I want to be able to get it on the webpage. I want to have Matt solicit maybe Madison or any other towns north, maybe write letters of support, and just collect letters and emails that when I do go to Concord to testify sometime in mid-February, that I can present this in support of this letter, in support of this bill. Yeah,
Make a motion to support House Bill 1468, and we're going to appoint Matt to work on this also? Or?
yeah, with the town webpage.
That's fine.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Chris, you got anything you want to add to this?
No, first of all, thank you, John. Phil Laurie and I have been trying to work on this for the last 3 years, and every time we communicate with DOT, we're going into a black hole. We never get communication back. The ball gets kicked down the road further and further, and finally, I think this action, and I've talked to two individuals at DOT who finally now are aware that something has to happen here.
Right.
And look, we have a goal. We would love to turn this into a real recreational trail, but we're not saying that right now. We're just saying make a decision on what you want to do with this stretch of land so that we all can move forward and go in one direction or another. The one thing we did get from the department was, because technically speaking, the only access that was allowed along there was the little train that go along, Cotton Valley Train Group, and snowmobiles.
Right.
We were told that during the winter, we could have pedestrians walk on the rail trail. That's the first time they've said we can actually have people walk along there for a hike or a walk, whatever they want to do. So that was sort of the first movement we've had. But my guess is they're going to put it out for people to decide who wants to come in and do something. There was something 20 years ago, I think, to recreate a freight train system for the cost of $20 million, because they would have to repair all the trestles and the railing and so forth and so on. Obviously, no one really came forward to do that. So, yeah, let's see, it's time to make a decision. So,
Right.
Jonathan, thank you for stepping forward to do this, and I think, again, as much communication as we can get for them, just make a freaking decision.
Right. So spread the word, without public support, bills like this die. I've seen it, they
And
just
will that
don't
website have
distract you.
to whom we send all this material to, the support, the letters, and
So that'll be on the webpage, you'll be able, Matt could compile all these letters as they come in, or emails, we can print them out, and then when I go to Concord, I can submit them physically, hard copies to the committee. People could, once the committee hearing gets posted, people can submit electronic testimony right to the committee directly, but I think if we have it in this fashion, where I can have a stack and say, this is the public support, I think it's more impactful. Go ahead.
John, who's the committee chair?
Mark McConkey, he's the co-sponsor of this
Good.
bill, yeah, which is good.
Yeah.
Go ahead, Kate.
Yes. Has there been any impact studies on what of these options would bring the most economic development and revitalization? So, you know, the train system, recreation, some sort of hiking, any,
Not that I'm aware of.
because I think it is
Well,
important.
maybe Chris has.
Well, UNH did a study.
Oh, that's right, they did do
Did a
that.
study about 3 years ago.
I remember
They were
that.
hired by the Economic Development Council to come in and do a study. And we actually had, you may remember, we had a whole open house in June of 2021, I forget what it was.
Right.
Which actually elaborated on the potential economic and health benefits of having a recreation trail, bike trail in this particular area.
So their study indicated that the recreation trail would be the best option out of all of them?
Well, I don't know if they say it'd be the best, but they did say that there's potential there for it to be environmental, economic, and educational benefit to the entire town,
But
the entire region.
I can see that there's potential, but I'm just looking at, can we achieve the best potential for the town? Do you know,
Well,
like
I
not
think
settle
that-
for second or third,
Yeah.
but what would really be in our best interest and bring us the most, I don't know, bang for the buck, if you would. So where should we invest our money and our energy to get the most out? If it is through a revitalized train, then we'd be silly to put our attention someplace else, you know? So how would we, do you think?
I think I understand your thought, but I think we're a little early in that. I think that this is just the master plan, this is just a vision of where it needs to go, and I think if it does get there, then they will dig deep into that.
Then we can, all
Yeah.
right, so no decision is being
Right,
made.
no. Go
Can
ahead,
I
Darrell.
ask, I got your vision. Is that what the bill says? Because I don't know if you read the bill.
Yep.
You did read the bill, and it just says for them to come up with a master
Yep,
plan?
just about a
That's-
master
That's all
plan.
it says?
Good.
Okay. I was with you through the whole dream part, and then you lost me.
Yep, they're gonna appropriate, obviously it's gonna take some funds to be appropriated. They could also be, you want me to read the bill? Does anyone?
Well, that's what I would
It's
like,
pretty- It's
yes.
pretty brief. Okay. An act directing the Department of Transportation to develop a Conway Branch Rail Line Master Plan. Conway Branch Master Plan appropriation. The Department of Transportation shall develop and complete a master plan for the Conway Branch Rail Line from north of Route 28 to Conway by December 31st, 2024. Funding to complete the master plan shall be appropriated from the general fund for the Department of Transportation. If funds from other sources, including but not limited to federal or state Department of Transportation planning funds, grants, and public donations are or become available, the department shall expend those funds prior to general funds. The governor is authorized to draw a warrant for any general fund sum out of any money in the treasury not otherwise appropriate. So it's really that simple. There's more language about the funding than there is about the purpose.
So does it ever land a tax burden on the residents?
Well, ultimately, it does. I mean, state money is tax money, that's local. Federal money is tax money, that's local.
Taxes is what they're-
No, but this is not going to be directly funded from Ossipee's general fund. This is funded through state appropriations, like I say, grants or federal money. So, but ultimately, it is taxpayer money. I mean, at the end of the day, it's all taxpayer money.
Depending on what the usage is determined, it becomes a recreational trail. Again, there's a whole source of opportunities to get grants and foundations to support.
Yep.
Local, state, and federal.
Any other discussion on this?
Oh, I would.
Sure.
Just something on the website that asks people for their input, like a community comments?
For this,
Yeah,
it will be on there, it's not there yet. We're gonna-
Okay.
Matt's gonna have to draft something and get it on the webpage.
all right, and then you'll be inviting people to comment?
Well, to,
Making it easy? Because if we don't make it easy,
Yes.
people won't go through loops, but if you put, press a button, make a comment.
well, that's what it's gonna be, it's gonna have Matt's email address that you can send an email letter or send an actual PDF letter. And, yeah.
Okay, yeah, that's great.
Anything else on the bill before I move along? No? Okay. Red folder we've already completed in the work session. Let's see. Old business, anything else? Matt, BJ?
Just want to remind everybody, the board voted on a parking ban for overnight till spring in the parking lots at the town buildings. We had one person stay overnight, just makes it hard for the guys to clean it up and get everything cleaned up in the morning. And then the other thing is to remind everybody to be careful with fire hydrants. They get out there, they have to be 24, 48 hours, they have to be cleaned up in the snow around them, but just try not to plow up against them or back into them. We have one backed into today. They're expensive and don't want to do that, so be careful with that.
Parking ban. We were out walking in Constitution Park on New Year's Day and walked over to the big lake. And there was a car parked right there on the path going down to the big lake. So I don't know, I'm sure, I don't know if the person had been having too much drink and that's why they sort of slept it out or not, but I don't know, does that fall?
That doesn't cover the parking ban. The parking ban is strictly for town buildings.
Oh, okay.
If there's an abandoned vehicle, I mean, chief would probably take care of that. I didn't see it. We
It
only
wasn't
found-
abandoned, first it was in there fast asleep.
Oh, okay.
Had a main license plate, so I think it got lost.
Yeah.
Yeah,
We only plow to the gate down onto the big lake, so we don't even go down to the end.
gotcha.
So pretty soon that won't be an issue because there's gonna be snow hopefully, so they can't get down there. So, but yeah, that's just strictly for the town buildings, the parking ban overnight. We just ran into, you come in the morning, and people would park all their cars.
Sure.
You can't clean it.
Yeah, gotcha.
Anything else? I'm going to open up to the second public input. Go ahead, Chris.
So John, I don't know if this falls here at the selectmen level.
Sure.
I know this is more about what's going on down in Concord, but I know there are 3 bills pertaining to the lake that are, one was, actually, the hearing was today, I think there's one tomorrow. One is about boats, one is about fertilizer, and one is about decals and fees and so forth and so on. Any thoughts on that?
I'm not-
Again, same sort of commentary, we need to get in there and push our views on certain.
Yeah, I mean, committee relies heavily on testimony, either written or verbal. That's the process. I mean, so I just quickly, this is how it works. There's maybe a dozen committees, I don't know the number. You have Public Works, you have Fish and Game, you have HHS, whatever. Where those committees basically parse down the bills for the bigger house vote. They do all the legwork, and then out of that comes a vote, a recommendation, either up or down, or basically a flat, recommendation. And then from there, it goes to the House. I can't comment. There's 800 bills that come into the legislature. I'm not on that committee, so I don't know. I couldn't even give you my input. But yes, that's the process. You've got to give input to the committees, because without that input, inputs guide decisions. It's just, so, yeah, it's important. Yeah. Any other public input? Go ahead, Bob.
Yeah, I want to thank the Selectmen for appointing me to the Mount Washington Valley Economic Council.
Sure.
My first meeting's going to be at the end of the month, and look forward to that and representing us.
Thank you for taking up that's a pretty big task. We need your expertise on that. Thank you. Okay, anything else on the board? No. We're meeting next Tuesday, the 16th at 9 a.m. We have a hearing. It's open to the public. It's not a public hearing. It's a hearing open to the public relative to a termination of a police officer. And then this Friday is the county budget hearing at 2 p.m. at the old annex over at the county complex.
And is the planning board having a meeting next Tuesday, the 16th?
Yep.
About the new zoning?
Yep, that'll be here for zoning changes, correct. Okay. being proposed by the planning board.
When's the next selections meeting?
The next selectmen's meeting will be the week following, which is the 22nd.
What,
The
27th?
22nd, which will be the
22nd,
following,
okay.
following Monday. Go ahead.
Are we also allowed to know who the police officer's name is?
Yes.
Currently?
No, it's Carrie Blackwood, Officer Blackwood. Yeah.
Couldn't be a better choice.
Anything else? I know I did public input twice already, but if nothing further, I'm going to make a motion to adjourn. All those in favor? Aye. Thank you for coming.
4:42.